getting back to the one thing that you mentioned about like wanting to be involved at enough so that things don't get out of control. And I think, one of the things that you talked about and when you started this process with us was KPI. And so I think that KPI on that side would be a great opportunity. So like, you can see, okay, how many customer complaints did we get this week, right? And so like at this meeting, we're talking about key performance indicators. And so these people that you put in those situations, how many cancellations did we have this week? How many sick call-outs did we have this week? How many complaints did we have this week? Anything that you would want to see ahead of time, like before it gets too big that it's a problem, you could put those into KPI so that you could see them ahead of time or in real time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I wonder too, like even in the short term, or since you're still small and you're growing, but you're being very cautious and you're still wanting to have that like face-to-face time with the people on your staff. I'm trying to remember what the letters stand for, but the triple C, like the clarity check-in sheets.
Yes.
Because you've mentioned your values and it sounds like you're really in tune with your values, and yes, 100% you can incorporate your values into your KPI and all of that, and I think that's an excellent idea. Yes. And I definitely want to, like in our next session, really dive into those KPIs.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering even if just like some like 5-10 minute check-ins with your staff and like with those like keeping your values as part, we can share with you what we're talking about. I don't have it ready to pull up right away, but you like just check in like 2 or 3 points, and you're like checking in through like the lens of your values, and it gives them an opportunity. Like you're asking them, how can I help support you do your job? Like also, right? You're getting that you're just like lays that groundwork for that true open door so that you can have that relationship and that flexibility and that connectedness with your staff that it sounds like you want, without being like, sure, do what you need to do. I support you on that, but you can be part of that, because that was the thing that was a big learning curve for myself. It was like I realized at one point I had let go like a little too much, and then I was like, wow, things are kind of getting a little out of control. But and then people kind of felt, well, why are you asking me these questions now? You let me do it the way I wanted to for a while. So these like, and even if you have an ongoing project or a very specific job expectation or something that this particular staff member's working on, it's not like a full 6-month eval by any means. It's like something little. It's like the top priority. And then you're just really checking in with them, and it keeps that communication open. And yes, it's to check in on a project or a goal or something, but it's also to stay grounded to the values and offering them a chance to give you feedback as well. It's time. It can be time consuming. A lot of people are like, oh, that's too much. I'm not. But if you put it on, like a frequency, if you put it in your calendar and you get it going and you do like really stick to a 5 or 10 minute quick, and the more you do them, the more you can do them quick, because you're not going to have a lot of backstory to go into. You're just getting a quick update. You good? How can I support you? Or, hey, we really could use more pencils. Okay, great. Let's work on how we can make that happen, and then asking them, and then you can even put some of that back on them to take responsibility for. You're still checking in. You're still keeping some some main point notes so that you can stay ahead of things. And it's giving that face time. And I found that staff really responded well to that. So
yeah, giving them the ownership of the to-dos that come out of that is really important, because if you get 25 more to-dos because you did this extra work, like it's like, why did I do this thing, right? And it can get very overwhelming. So definitely giving them the ownership of the to-dos if you can.
In the very beginning, when I started this, it was really a lot of tech's opportunity to come to me and ask me for more toys. And so I quickly was like, okay, send me an email. And then like, even from that, then I'm like, how these emails to sort through. And then I'm like, and then they're sending these emails with these really long, like Amazon. I was like, whoa, this is too much. So, but from that, we came up with a process of how to request toys and how much money we're going to put towards that each month and how we're going to determine. And then once that was set, then I could pass that on to someone.
Somebody else can do it.
Yeah. But I didn't know that so many techs were angry and frustrated that they didn't have enough puzzles that didn't have all the pieces.
Right.
I was like, I can get you puzzles. And those things wouldn't have happened. Right. I don't think in the same way they would have turned into big deals.
Right.